What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Millzy, back with Hometown Commander, and we're back for another opening. We are going to be opening up both of the Brothers War Commander decks. First up, Urza's Iron Alliance. Man, I am really excited for these decks for a lot of reasons, and we'll get into them. But let's take a look at the decks. All of Wizards' decks come in this new packaging. We have the pretty foil of the commander. We got a divider there and a bunch of tokens and punch outs on the side. And then we get our deck box. The really cool thing about all of these deck boxes now is they do actually fit the entire deck single sleeved. I think that's one of the best decisions that Wizards made for these precons was giving us these, allowing new players to have these deck boxes to be able to fit the entire deck in. I think that's really cool. And if you are new to the game and this is your first set of precons you're checking out, definitely check it out. You get a little bit of background on Urza himself and some things about how to play the deck and the rules of Commander, which is cool. I think it's cool that they include this kind of thing. Of course, not too much of a use for me, but that's okay. And then every deck comes with a collector booster sampler pack. This is 2 cards from the collector booster sampler set with every deck. So let's see if 1, we get anything good, and 2, if any of it would go into the deck. We get our ad card. We get Harbin, Vanguard Aviator, one of the new soldier commander, one of the new soldier commanders from Brothers War. That's pretty cool. Probably could work in the deck. I don't know how many soldiers that Urza makes, but it could work. And Bonesaw, a foil retro artifact. So that's pretty cool. Bonesaw, of course, not one of the best retro artifacts in the world, but still cool. They include those little things in the precon for you. Thankfully, both of those would be playable in the deck. Sometimes you get included cards that you cannot play. But here we go. We got all of our tokens, double-sided with all of the different tokens that you can make in the deck. Now, every deck does come with a very thick commander. It is the same printing as the other one. The thick one's on my left, the other one's on my right. But it is very thick. I mean, it makes good noise there. So that's cool. I have just collected these from whatever precons I bought. I think they're kind of cool. Not a ton of value, although they aren't a bad little thing to have if you want to use it. I couldn't use it in another deck. You couldn't sleeve this up and put it in. It's very thicker, a lot thicker. But it is cool. I do like that they add those as a bonus. So let's go through Urza's deck. The one thing that I have to say that I really like about these precons is we get every single card in the old border. Wizards has started lately printing different artifacts and things in the old border, and so I'm just really excited to get some of these cards in old border. There's our face commander, though, Urza Chief Artificer, and our secondary commander, Tawnos Solemn Survivor. And we'll keep going. We got Swords to Plowshares. I'll just, I kind of go through the cards I find to be relevant. But the main thing here for me, and the reason I got these decks, 1, I want to build around them. But 2, I was getting some of these cards just in the old border, having fun and enjoying them. We got a D-Spark in the old border, Chief of the Foundry, Cranial Plating. Great card for a deck like this. Liquid Metal Torque, Skull Clamp in the old border. Of course, our Soul Ring. Or Swiftfoot Boots, Thought Vessel. Here we get a chance to see some of the lands in the old border. To me, still looks a little weird, but we see Arcane Sanctum, Darksteel Citadel, great to get in the old border. And our bounce lands. March of Progress, one of the new big blue spells exclusive to this deck. Cool to see it in that old border. Exodus. Kayla's Music Box, Thought Bishops, those are some of those new cards. Noxious Gearhulk getting a pretty print. My Girl Alayla getting a print in the old multicolor border. Sphinx's Revelation. Austere Command, great card. Really excited to see Dig Site Engineer in here. Definitely a good card in Urza's deck. Lost Shield, Phyrexian Rebirth, Tempered Steel, good pump enchantment for artifact creatures. We can see Tishar, very popular artifact commander because of the historic spells being artifacts, legendaries, or sagas. Break information. We see a printing of Urza's Ruinous Blast with the new art. Very pretty there in the old border. We get a new art for Biden of Thassa. This is pretty cool. I have to say, I do really like the look of the new one. Great enchantment to have, especially if you're playing a deck like this or a deck with a lot of tokens in blue. Biden of Thassa definitely draws you that card. Master of Ethereum, really great in this deck. One with the machine. We see Sai, Master Thopterus with an old school print. Shimmer Dragon, very popular in those treasure lists. We see Thopter Spy Network, Thought Monitor, Marionette Master. This is what I'm very excited about. Marionette Master, of course, a game ender helper of choice in sacrifice lists and treasure lists. Really great card. Love seeing that in the old border. Baleful Strix. A lot of people are going to be happy seeing this in the old border. An old Commander classic. We see a Vindicate reprint. Always never got the love it deserved because it's sorcery speed removal and not instant, but I think Vindicate's a pretty decent card considering it can hit anything, any permanent, not even non-lands, like a lot of your generous gifts and things like that. So this hits anything. Its champion. Mere Battlesphere gets a print in the old art, or in the old border. Very pretty. Sad Robot, Solemn Simulacrum. Oh, I didn't know Steel Hellkite was in there. It's a great card, especially in those dragon decks. Helps you get rid of some things. We see an Exotic Orchard. Great commander land for anyone to have. Goes in most decks, especially if you're in, I'd say, blue, white, or green. You know that your opponents are probably going to almost always have those colors. So Exotic Orchard tapping for 1 mana of any color an opponent's land could produce should almost always produce you what you need. Prairie Stream, part of one of my favorite mini cycles that we got in Battle for Zendikar. Cool to see that in its old border. We have Spire of Industry, one I'm very excited about for the Staple Binder. Great card and artifact decks to tap for anything. Sunken Hollows, same thing in that Battle for Zendikar cycle. We have the 3 temples. 3 temples we can play from Theros, all with their what's that, M21 printings, but for the art, but in the old border, so that's pretty cool. We see Ethereum Sculptor, very popular artifact card. Preordained still looks pretty cool in that old art. Here we go, the card I personally was, I guess, very happy to see in the old border, although we did get that secret layer version. Arcane Signet. We have Azorius Signet, Dimir Signet, and Orzhov Signets. We get the 3 Signets we can play. And then the card, one of the cards I was very excited about, we get the artifact lands in the old border. We see Ancient Den, Bajuka Bog there in the old border. There it is, Command Tower, everyone's favorite land in the old border. We get to see some of the Modern Horizon 2 artifact dual lands in the old border, which is really cool. We see Path of Ancestry, great card to have. You see one of the other Modern Horizons 2 lands there. And there we go, Seed of the Synod and Vault of the Whisperers. There's the other 2 artifact lands. Great to have those. And then the basics are just weird to see. It's weird to see basics in the old frame. But man, do they look cool. So there you go, Urza. Chief High Artificer. This is a deck that introduces you Esper artifacts. Pick this one up. A lot of good value in this one. I think it's a great place to start. You get a lot of really good cards to help you get yourself started on one of these decks. I'm very excited to see my girl Layla there get included in the deck in that old printing. And if you've never seen a Precon open before, this is everything you need to play other than a pack of sleeves. Grab a pack of sleeves, 100 sleeves, sleeve it up. Go play it at your local store or with your friends. You get all the tokens you need to play the deck. And if either of the cards work in your deck, in your preview pack, you can go ahead and put that right in. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.